We are sincerely sorry for the delay, fellas and ladies and in-betweeners. One day we'll get this right. Thanks for sticking around. We're gonna, what we don't have in punctuality, we have in vim and vigor and hubris.
Painting, poetry, or music is that they come a dime a dozen.
We are a tornado of bravado.
Present himself as a primitive when they might be quite simply untalented, or just lazy, or money-minded, or all three.
Speaking of all those,
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Welcome to LeafCast, a first-time reader show based on the epic fantasy series A Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. I am Ryan, and I am currently wondering who I can trust in this tower.
Oh, and I am Ryan's brother Dan, and you can rest till I finish my pipe, but rest fast. I am almost at the dawdle.
At the dawdle? What does that mean?
The like the ashy bowl, I guess.
We all hate. Know. Yeah. You've passed me many dawdles in our days, Dan.
We are the way of the leaf, and this is the LeafCast. Only green for you, my brother.
Welcome, and only green for you, everybody. This is episode 1 gazillionth. We we can't count. We're puppets. Yep. So many.
Gazillionth. Yes. Guys, these are chapters you've been waiting for. Actually, this is gonna be a fun show.
Absolutely, we have 2 of 3 of our first-time readers, so let's bring them in.
So then I see my buddy Frank, and Frank's like, "Brother Dan." Hey, they lived happily ever after. The end. Amen.
It is good to see you guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Josh, let's unmute you. There you go.
Welcome. Sound check. Kay, can we hear you?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Hello, Krista.
You look and sound beautiful. Josh?
Thank you.
I can't say the same about you.
Well, yeah, we don't hear you. I don't hear you.
Is that better?
That is better, yeah.
You have to turn on our.
He had to Fonzie it. He just smacked it.
I had to double unmute. I mean, nobody wants to hear what I have to say, so I had to double unmute. So.
Oh, come on.
You had to Fonzie it. That's really funny.
Hey. You know what, Ryan? I remember our parents. They were like, "Your report card should look like Fonzie in a mirror store." Hey.
But what happens when you never did that, Dan?
Hey, come on. Why'd you have to go there?
Just dating yourself, brother Dan.
Yeah.
You're more like ABBA. A-B.
ABBA, yeah. So, brother Dan, why do you have a tambourine on your head?
This is my Valkyrie Battle Lord gear. It's a Hidori made of wood. I'm going to battle here.
I hear it clinking just a little bit as you move. It's very cute.
That is adorable.
Is cute what you're going for, Dan?
Gosh darn it! I'm gonna cuddle you till you give.
Or you'll take anything right now, huh?
I'll take it. Yeah. I as Josh said, I am dating myself. Whenever I can.
Does your wife know?
Yeah.
You're at least a cheap bill when you go to a restaurant.
I sleep good at night. I don't know what.
I sleep. yeah. Look at these eyes. Do I have a conscience?
Hey,
No.
hey, I sleep great.
0.
I have no enemies.
All right. Well, before we get into chapter 22, Dan, we need to do our pronounce this. Am I correct? Okay.
You are correct. Thank you for reminding me, Ryan.
I always need to.
Yep.
All right. We're not there yet. Let me get the sound. This is very much. We do have a Shansani. She does help us out with this episode.
Yeah, Shansani.
Yay.
Yeah.
Johnson.
So we do have an official answer to all of these pronunciations.
Yes.
This is
Thems.
thems. Okay.
Them's
All right.
pronunciations.
Pronounce thems.
Pronounce thems.
Who's
All right.
going first?
Well, we got to start it off. Hey, K-Sai, pronounce this.
Pronounce this.
I love it. In my head, it sounds like James Daughtry.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Haim Daotri.
Time. Okay.
Shansani's. Wait, where's the Shansani? Dan,
Oh, is that me?
that's your job.
Oh.
Oh, how do I do it? Is it in?
There you go. Shansani said.
Is that me?
Am I missing?
Is that me, Ryan?
Oh wait! Oh, I muted myself. Fuck.
Oh,
No, here we go.
Okay.
It was my timing was amazing. I fucked it up.
Daughtry.
God, I did it again. Listen.
James Daughtry.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, you got it, Kay.
Right. It's a silent I.
James.
James.
Okay, here we go. Bye,
Haim.
Jaim Daughtry. All right,
That's it.
Josh. Pronounce this.
What is this?
Joya Althor.
Joya Althor.
All right, let's go to the official. Shansani says.
Yes.
Joia Althor.
Both suck it.
No, you guys.
Yeah.
You both suck it. That's the judge.
Apparently, don't you know that there's not a silent I in this word, but there's a
Joya?
silent I
Joya.
in Jaim.
Joya. Joya. I like that.
Well,
It's pretty.
Joya.
It's pretty.
Joya.
La Isla Joya.
All right, K-Sai, pronounce this.
What's this?
Beldine Sedai of the Blue Aja.
Okay.
The water. Is that are you doing the 70s water dance?
Beldine Sedai of the Blue Aja.
All right, I think we're gonna have a quorum on this one. Pronounce it. Oh, Shazi. I blew it.
Shansani says.
Beldane Sedai of the Blue Aja.
Dang.
Oh,
Beldane.
Beldane.
Oh, apparently you guys suck it again, I guess. Huh?
E-I-N-E
That's a
is
lot of it
Ain,
tonight, Joshua.
but then J-A-I-N-E is Jane too.
Beldane.
Don't you know that the rules are consistent?
They're awesome.
All right.
Nothing's good.
Bye-bye, Beldane.
Bye. That's it.
And Josh, pronounce this.
Gaidal Sedai of the Red Aja.
Gaidal with a silent N. All right.
Sure, Gildan Sedai.
Yeah, Gildan.
Oh my God.
Gildan.
So this is the GIF or GIF. Is it Gildan?
Yeah, it's a
or
GIF or
Gildan?
GIF. Gildan, Gildan. Either way, it's going to be a Dan. I don't know if it's going to be a Dan. Shansani says.
Gildan Sedai of the Red Aja.
Oh, it's a
Gildan, hard G.
Nice.
Gildan with an I-N too. No
Gildan.
Dan.
Gildan.
Gildan.
I think when you're on the first LeafCast, though, you have to say Dan.
Thank you.
All right. Is this one more? Nope. Last. That's next chapter. All right.
All right.
All right.
You guys did great.
Nice.
To the show.
All right, so it's chapter 22. It's the price of the ring. It has a whale blueby teardrop thing going down. This is a continuation from when Egwin has just left Varen's apartments. With her is the stone ring terangrial for dreaming, and all the notes about the Black Aja and all the terangrial that they split with. She instantly runs into Shiriam. And Shiriam's all, oh, we've been looking for you, damn it. It's a good thing I found you. I'm good. Haha.
Well, actually, no, very specifically, she says, if someone hadn't remembered you talking to Varen, I might not have found you.
Oh, that's a good point, Ryan.
Oh, fuck, I'm full of them.
Oh. I thought those were all elbows, but those are points.
Asked my loved ones.
Asked them? I should ask them?
Asked them. I've been drinking. I got really stressed out. All right, no, yeah. So yeah, she said if I hadn't seen you talking to Varen, or I hadn't, so if someone hadn't remembered you talking to Varen, what did that ring a bell to anybody, or do you guys want to just move on? Uh-oh.
I'm a little confused.
Oh no, shit. All right. So pick the book in the middle.
Which someone?
No, all right. So yeah, move on.
Okay.
Just thought I'd
Well,
point that out.
all right. So she says,
I think it's a good
Go ahead.
question. Which someone saw her talking to Varen, and in what context did it emerge that was happening?
Yeah. Why is that even significant?
Right.
Huh. Well, she kind of says, "Hey, what you got there?" Hello, David Cook.
No, thanks, buddy.
I'm golfing with him tomorrow morning, Ryan, at 8 a.m.
Seriously. All right. Well,
Seriously, yeah.
It's gonna be a long show.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get a move on.
So they essentially, she says the hour waits for no woman. The wheel weaves as the wheel wills when the wheel wills. That's hard to say.
you barely got that out.
The wheel weaves as the wheel wills when the wheel wills. So yeah, it's difficult. Pronounce this. Okay. Yeah. So what do you guys think about this whole like initiation? Like they don't give them any hint that it's coming necessarily. It's just no. It's time to go now, baby.
Or can you assume that everyone is like this?
I mean, I think she says the answer, right? Like, how would you prepare anyways? I mean,
Right.
for what you've heard from other accepted to be essentially torture.
Right, but she was tired. She probably wanted to shower.
He's about to get showered 3 times.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, okay. Very good point. Very good point.
Yeah, and it's just a lot. It's a lot, and it seems like it's a little different for everyone, right? Because it's their own situation, it's their own fears, their own thing. That
The Umberland seat commanded it to happen right now, right?
Yeah, and Ben Butler says most spent years getting prepared. Yeah, I don't know if we can assume that everyone's experience of going through their accepted tests is they just get whisked out of nowhere and be like, now's the time, baby. I don't know, but
So I mean, there's a couple ways to end. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kay.
No.
No.
Oh, I was just gonna say, well, that's a good point about the time reference. I'm wondering if maybe I'm not the only one that's confused as far as how long it's been since the book started. I just haven't written anything.
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, how long has it been?
Like, approximately? Can someone refresh?
I think a year and change, more or less.
So were they? Yeah. So that like even from the time that Egwene started thinking about the even like the tests of being an Aes Sedai, or like, oh my goodness, I could possibly become that. That was brand new in the beginning of the very first book, right? So it's just been not a lot for them to absorb. Well, a lot for them to absorb in not a long time, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how many days have passed since when the Amerlin said, "Oh, and you're to be raised to accepted." I guess 1 day, 0 days. I don't know. Maybe it's the same day.
I'm thinking a couple days at the most. Possibly it's the next day, though. I mean, we know she's at least washed dishes once because she walks away with scrubbing her hands at the beginning of the previous chapter. I guess that's actually tonight. Yeah, when she goes to Varen's, that chapter begins. Egwene scrubbed her hands with a hand towel as she hurried down the dimly lit corridor. She washed them twice, but they still felt greasy. So, was that the first time she washed the dishes, or what do you think?
Do you guys even remember Game of Thrones when Samuel was up in the cathedral or whatever, and they just had that montage of him just scooping shit nonstop?
It's the Citadel, I think it was, or the
Citadel, yeah. And it just like this stupid 5-minute montage. And then everyone's like, "Why is this?"
Carrying books and cleaning out poop.
And this is like, "Oh, here he goes again." So yeah, I kind of thought she'd just been at it for a little bit, but who knows for how long exactly. Yeah, at least a day, but I was getting more of a sense that it was a while.
Well, we get this sentence on the second page of the chapter. I listened to the lectures Egwene processed it, and I remember them, but can I have a night's sleep first? So she's been there long enough to be lectured about
as
what
a novice, though. Yeah.
Right. As a novice.
Yeah, so we're just trying to figure out how long they've been there. Yeah, and
were those lectures before she ran away, or since she came back? I mean, that's what we don't know, right?
I remember distinctly also them discussing hearing each other crying themselves to sleep at night through that little glory hole they have between their rooms. What?
Yeah.
I love the image of the winding ramp around the outside or within the tower.
Oh yeah.
Where is
isn't
that,
Josh?
Well,
it's on the second page of the chapter. She says she pushed Egwene through a tiny door at the front of the stairs and hurried her across the hall to a ramp curving down and down. Then she reads the sentence as the sentence I just said. I listened to the lectures, blah, blah, blah. The winding ramp seemed to have no end.
It also says Egwene was trembling by the time the ramp finally ended at a broad hallway far below the tower in the rock of the island.
And don't miss our fish metaphor.
Oh, there's a couple. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm ready.
Let's see. And the Amaryllis means you. What?
Her exact words were, "Once you decide to gut a fish, there's no excuse waiting till it rots."
Yep. And then when she's in the Terangrial and shit goes down, she's like, I'll gut you like a sturgeon or some shit like that. Anyways. So yeah, they go off into the room, and there's Elida. Being mean. Elida's like, fuck this.
Elida's Biff.
Well, I mean, so just Elida and
Back to the Future.
Yes. No.
Hey, butthead.
Yeah. All you want to do is punch Biff in the face.
I don't see Biff as a red Aja. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, when you put it that way, what Aja is Biff then, Josh?
That's a good question.
That's a really good question.
What Aja is Biff?
Black Aja, probably.
I could see him as a red.
Oh, so you're saying Elida is not Black Aja? Or are you? I mean, we haven't gone there yet, but
we haven't gone there. So
I already predicted that a while back. I mean,
all right.
So it's interesting that Elida is not only running the ceremony, but also was the main bad guy in one of her experiences. Mm-hmm. That's got to be a real head screw, you know.
And it was the experience about the future too, right? So
Right. I wonder if everyone's experiences are that specific to a person that they're going to have to live with for the next 80 years or something.
possibly. I mean, she is a dreamer, right? And presumably
she's
these
also-
rings.
Yeah. Sorry, Josh.
No, go
You're
ahead.
right. She's a dreamer.
Some may say I'm a dreamer, but
I don't know. I'm sorry, Josh.
Well, what are these rings?
I want
What-
to hear.
Yeah.
we're good.
What are these rings? They at one point she says that there was a purge that she remembers kind of happening, but also kind of remembers that nothing of the sort ever occurred. Are these like the flicker? Are they related? Are they related to the world of dreams that that Terangriel that Eggman brought in? What's going on with these rings? What do you guys think?
I'm sorry. What rings are you talking about?
The rings that Eggman steps through into to become accepted.
The big.
The arches, yeah, and the ring. Yeah, I'm calling them rings. Duh, arches.
There's three
I'm sorry,
arches
yeah, no,
in a ring. I think they're like in a. There's
Yeah,
you
there's
described
a ring.
Three
I think you're
arches
right.
in
Yeah,
a ring.
they intertwine, right? Which is why they have arch. Or
I think they are rings too. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I think you're. Yeah. Exactly.
I think they're like
you're
oval
totally
shapes.
Right.
No, I'm with
rings
you.
that intertwine
But they
that form an
interconnect.
Arch.
So the women walk into the rings or the arches, and then disappear, and
Into like a shimmer.
and then the Aes Sedai. There's some that are just concentrating, but Eggman was concerned that Elida may have looked at her papers. So what are the other Aes Sedai doing? So like Eggman goes in, bye, and they're like. Okay.
I love the
They're-
visual. Thank you.
They're meditating, they're holding the space. I mean, the yellow, white, and green Aja have a sister each. Presumably they're mapped in that order: green to the past, yellow to the present, white to the future. Although I think that's an interesting question: is which sister holds which gate?
Oh, interesting.
Hmm.
Huh.
Was that the question?
That wasn't the question Dan asked.
That's a
I was
great
waiting.
question. I'm kidding.
No, I like it.
Awesome question.
What do you think, Kay, about the rings? Is it flicker? Is it the dream world? Is it something different?
I feel like it's more of a flicker situation than it is a dream world. I feel like it's more realistic than well, I don't know how realistic the dream world is in this situation either, though. So I guess that's kind of that leads me down a weird thought path. But I do think that it's more of a flicker situation than it is a dreaming.
You don't think it's the Teleranrihad?
No. Wait, what? Tell a what?
Teleranrihad?
Yeah. I think she says it different.
How do you say it? Teleranrihad?
Yeah, the dream world. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. I don't think so. It feels like it's more substantial than that. It feels more like it's these specific other lives that are kind of just parallel to their own, and it's. I guess I'm having a hard time explaining anything without.
No, you just did that. You did great there. No, that's perfect.
Talking about parallel universe.
Yeah, and I mean, there's
Right.
I found two contradictory hints, and I think it's about what the nature of these rings are. And I'll bring both of them up right now. One is that
on the one hand, they say the danger is real. That's one of them, I'm guessing.
No,
right.
Well, that's possible, but that could be also that's maybe true for both. Right? I mean, and Flicker. Well, no, he dies, and no, you're right. So the danger.
Flicker is not real. I mean, it's like. So whereas the Teleranrihad people actually die and they come back with blood on them and soiled and like
No,
That-
so the
and
two
it's the
things
same
I'm-
phrase, the danger is real,
No,
from
you're
the
right,
previous
you're right,
chapter.
yeah. Oh, you're
Anyways.
good point. So that's one hint. The other hint is that they talked about the ring when she was the Alana was saying the only time this has ever happened is when we had two of the same Angreals that have of the same nature, basically. So
they're related is
that are
specifically what she
related.
says.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you. So that's the phrasing. So that are related. So that makes you think, okay, it's related to the Angreal, which is related to dreaming.
Which
But
she just was given. Exactly. I mean, it seems like they're implying it's the Terangreal there. Yeah.
But the next chapter, the very first line of the next chapter, she's coming out of it and she says the word forever. And it's very specific. She's like, "Oh, like my light is stretching me thin. Like all my body is like." And all of a sudden, she's like, says the word forever, and then she steps out of it. And I just think that's very interesting to put forever into that, because dream like that makes me. I just thought that was very interesting. Like the implications of what that word means when she is coming out of it. Why does she say forever?
I think she means to never go back to that timeline again.
Okay.
I mean, that's how I interpreted it.
Or is there? Okay, yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Cool.
Because the first sentence of the next chapter is the same. Light pulled her apart fiber by fiber. Sliced the fibers to hairs that drifted apart, burning, drifting and burning forever.
Forever. So that's what I'm talking about right there. Forever. That kind of gives me a thought about possible, well, I'm not going to go into it. But yeah, I just thought that's interesting.
It's interesting.
Moving right along. Sorry to jump around, Dan.
Forever.
No, that's great, man. This is what we do. This is what we do. I guess let's just kind of compare and contrast Nynaeve and Egwene's. These are the only two accepted tests that we've seen. Elaine had one before Egwene, and you see that she's crying at the end of the episode, and they both burst into tears, and it's a traumatic experience, to say the least.
In these books?
Guys, real quickly, so we shouldn't feel bad, and we can move on with a happy, jaunty step like we love. Ben Butler says, I just realized how these arches work. 25 reads on, now I get it. So this guy's read this series about 25 times, and he's only now understanding the nature of these arches. So we are taking wild stabs at it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I guess just one final question about this. Like, so what if Nynaeve had decided to just stay married to, I'm sorry, Nynaeve. Blah. What if Egwene had just decided to stay married to Rand, hang out with her daughter, and live the farm life? So they say that some women never come out and they assume that they die. But do they, or do they just get to live their best life in some other alternate reality?
I feel like I read something about this, but I'm not going to remember what it is exactly. Josh, do you recall what they said about this? I feel like there was something that they said about this that was more definitive. Anyway.
In these chapters, you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, they do have some theories about it that they kind of extol on about, but I mean, they kind of say that they don't know really. Right. But yeah, I agree with Dan that they do say that they seem to die. At least they don't come back.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I feel like it's sort of like a weird spot between a hallucination and a past life experience kind of like thing. So, it's hard to say where one of those ends and the others begin. It's sort of a continuum, right? Like
they do talk about, it is difficult to say, but they do talk about like in the past. They talk about like people like this was the past. Something about it being the past. It gave me that.
Yeah, the first string is the past.
I've read a few times. Yeah, because
what was
specifically? Yeah, what was? Thank you. Well, what was?
What is, what will be.
So and let's let's dig into this a tiny bit deeper then. So Egwene had the idyllic farm life that what was her past. If she had stayed there, this would have been her
Idyllic,
future.
save for her husband.
Idyllic meaning no, not idealistic. Idyllic meaning like pastoral and farm, rural.
Okay.
Nynaeve, on the other hand, is being threatened with rape by a Forsaken.
Yep.
Okay, so I guess I'm just comparing the two. You would think that Nynaeve would have a Two Rivers type what was like Egwene did, and she certainly did not.
I don't
think what was.
I don't think so. Go ahead, Ryan. Sorry.
Well, I'm just trying. Well, no, you go on, and I'm just going to tell everyone. Cinnamon wants to know if you're wearing a tambourine on your head, Dan.
That's right.
No, it's a Valkyrie metal Hedori. Dang it!
Then put the jingles back so we can't see him if you want to have that impression. Oh, they're on both sides.
Oh my goodness. Just the cutest ever.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Oh, you know what? These are so you can see my eyebrows.
Yeah.
Look at that! Perfect.
How stoned are you to be wearing a tambourine, Brother Dan? She wants to know. She's branching out. She's only been she's drunk test, now she's like stone testing us. I feel like we're getting to a whole new level.
All right, here to you, my friend Sinan.
I know.
Her name is Sinan. Come on.
I know.
Sinan?
Yeah, no,
Sinan.
She's not a Patreon member yet.
So
personally, I've never done that before.
you almost made me cough, right? When I was having my Sinan drink.
Oh shit, he just did that.
I was having my Sinan beer.
So back to Nynaeve. Nynaeve had a life in the past that she believed in. It's a Tamdori. Nice. Nynaeve had a life that she was, confident and felt like it was her life to live, right? So, whereas Nynaeve has, Egwene has these questions about what would my life have. She didn't have. She's still coming into age. Like, she didn't have the life that she dreamed of yet in her hometown, right? Whereas like Nynaeve was living her dream already in a weird way. I think that would be one explanation for why they might not have both had the same kind of like past experience, right? In there, but who knows? It's different for everyone, right? I mean,
yeah.
Right. And Nynaeve's future, or what will be, let's say, was similar to Egwene and Rand. It was her, in love. Had daughters. They both had kids. So what is this? Is this overtly cruel for Aes Sedai to actively walk away from children they will never have? Or is this vital to suss out women who are, you got to understand, you're walking away from having kids, and this is a literal form of that.
Yeah, I think definitely with all of it. I think they're just being tested on every level, as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, as everything that a lot of people aspire to be in a like in the world.
Hi, Clay.
I'm gonna do this from now on. I'm just gonna go anywhere. I'm just walk in the room and say, I'm here.
Hi, it's me.
This is the most just drop your dick onto the table.
I'm here.
I'm here.
Well, hello, Clay.
We love you, Clay.
So do you think it's cruel or is it appropriate?
I think it's necessary.
Okay.
On some level. I don't know about the extreme level. Sorry, Josh.
No. I interrupted you. Sorry.
It's like a Oh, I do that to you all the time, buddy. Yeah, I just think it's like it's necessary on some level, and it's cruel, yes. Also, it does feel familiar also to our world and climate. Like we're constantly being tested in certain ways. So
Hell to the yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Well, Josh, you say that it's symbolic, and it is very literal. They have to walk away from family, like literally walk away from family. It's not. There's nothing metaphorical, symbolic about it per se. It is.
Well, it's symbolic that she walks away from a literal child in her accepting of the past and what will not be. Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's my point. I think.
Okay.
I agree. It is literal, but I mean, I can't help but interpret this whole chapter with. I mean, there's all these numerological references to 3. The whole thing with the pouring of the chalice is like very literally baptism.
Mm-hmm.
We have this kind of like. I've always interpreted the Aes Sedai as kind of like a nun, and here they are like leaving behind the idea of children, and again in a symbolic and also literal sense through their vision. Kind of like accepting Christ as your husband or whatever, right? There's this like, although I suppose you can have. Do Green Aja have children? Presumably not.
Well,
Right?
I mean, that's the question. Do Aes Sedai have babies?
We haven't seen any in the text so far.
What's your
Right.
guess? What's your guess? Is Kay? Is there
a White Tower nursery?
I mean, I should hope so if they're having babies, but and I hope it's all tied into that union contract too. But
Yeah, nice.
honestly, I don't think that they're gonna be having babies in this series. I don't know. It doesn't feel like that's where we're going with any of this, but also it just doesn't feel like that would necessarily. I don't know. No, I don't think so, because I feel like people need to go into this situation, right, and be tested into this situation. They're not like born into it like a.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean,
do you
the
think
mother-
it's genetic? Is there a genetic component to channeling?
I don't know.
certainly runs strong in the Manatharans. It seems.
Right?
Could be.
So it says, you are washed clean of what sin you may have done, and of those done against you. You are washed clean of what of what crime, God damn it, my eyes, of what crime you may have committed, and of those committed against you. You come to us washed clean and pure in heart and soul.
Brother Dan, let's say hi to Todd Coleman, everyone. Todd,
Rick.
Up, Toddy. Todori.
See, buddy.
He should have said, I'm here. And Todd's daughter.
All right. Question. How reflective of other novice experiences are Egwins to the two of you?
Not very so far, other than being tested.
Yeah, they're good.
That I can recall. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Josh?
I was just waiting for you to be done. I mean, they're in a special circumstance, having been trained by the Xian Chan or whatever they're called to be, one power wielding weapons of mass destruction. So they've kind of been thrown into the fire. Miss you too, Todd.
These are good chapters. I miss Todd's input as well.
Yeah, feel free to answer any of these questions, Todd.
Yeah, good. Just
yeah,
text
buddy,
it.
jump right in. These are tough. This is
Todd, do
loaded
Ace and I have babies? These are inquiring minds want to know.
So this first one was more or less her.
I'm sorry, Dan. Ben wants to clarify. he's talking about when Egwin went through her rings, do other novices see similar things? So we know
Their
Nynaeve
fears,
saw
right?
wildly different things. But what do you think of other novices?
I think they all see things that challenge them on
Mhm.
probably at the same level, presumably, but possibly our female TAVERN heroes are tested more thoroughly. It's hard to say.
Mm-hmm. Well, there is this Dan, who was in the room with Nynaeve's testing?
Your mom? No, it was
Shiriam,
I think
right?
Swan.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Swan
Or
was in
yeah.
there. Shiriam was in there. Leanne, I think, was probably in there. The keeper of the Chronicles. And I don't know who else.
Was Leandrin?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
I thought she was, but
She may have been.
Because I remember talking to you about this. We were saying, like, is there a possibility that one of the Aes Sedai in the room was creating the extra level of like intensity and like whatever? Like for Nynaeve it was danger, for Egwin it was like emotional.
Well, for no friend,
Torment, yeah.
yeah.
God damn it, there's so much to talk about. And then the whole idea about the third testing being like what, like this, she was hearing the reminder to leave, getting shortcutted, and then
That's what I was saying. The foreshortening of the sentence each time. Like, what does that mean?
So like, and she was definitely like bringing in her own like memory, her own like current life experiences into it. And then was she influencing what was happening? Or was she?
This is what makes me think it's the Tel'aran'rhiod. Is that we know that she has power there. We know that she shows some exceptional prowess in this regard, and then we see the ring she's given is resonant and connected, seemingly connected to the rings that they're using for this. We know that's the dreaming ring. We see her bring her own experiences in and essentially like cut off, like as her power gains strength in the environment, the sentence of like the door only comes once gets shorter and shorter until it just goes away. And it seems clear that she has something different going on than Nynaeve did.
Yeah, Nynaeve's third testing, she just kind of ignored the door and then kind of made a new one.
Yeah.
She's like, oh shit, I fucking forgot the door. And they like made a new one. Then like she was put on hold and she broke out of being put on hold.
Yeah, I broke too.
Yeah, very
well.
Different.
The third, when she enters, here's the quote here. Oh, goddamn my eyes! But she says, "Light, help us all." She stepped into the light. It filled her. It shone through her. It burned her to the bone, seared her to the soul. She flashed incandescent in the light. Light, help me. There was nothing but the light and the pain. Every other time, we've only heard that they step into the glow.
Right.
Boom. Yep. This one has pain, and when she's torn out, it seems like she is torn out molecule by molecule and reassembled.
Transporter style, Star Trek transporter style.
Totally.
And this is not the norm at all. We don't see that with Nynaeve's test at all.
Well, she's like burning with anger too when it happens too, right? She's effing pissed.
So
right.
We're going, Josh. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, there's an interesting like Lazarus kind of reference in here too in the first chapter. Where, I mean, again, it's like Bible story like all throughout this chapter. I feel like, and just Christian iconography and mythology kind of peppered throughout the narrative. But the Egwin had cured someone Nynaeve had left for dead 3 times.
Yes.
Right.
Again, and there's like, I counted them. There was 17 mentions of the word 3 in this chapter.
And how many times did they mention 13?
A few,
or 12
at least
plus 1.
5. At least 5, I think.
And all Egwin did was sit and hold his hand, right?
1, 2, yeah. 3. 4, 5. I think 5. It looks like. Yeah.
A lot.
All right.
So
yeah. Josh, you are a freak.
But
Yes.
we love you. You are a freak. but we
It's
love
like,
you.
like you know those dogs, like a hairless cat. Josh is like a hairless cat.
Those dogs that are like a hairless cat. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
You don't really want to look at the hairless cat, but you can't help it. You just the sorrow you feel for its angst. And
Oh man, that must suck. Also, I don't
There's
really
also
wanna touch you, but
There's also illusions that like Rand is making wildfires and stuff
Mhm.
with his mind.
He's a wildling.
He's just going crazy, and he's having headaches. He doesn't like it.
A wilder, excuse me, wilder.
Wilder. You don't belong here, said a lighter.
Dun, dun, dun.
Every time I kiss you, I taste what Nynaeve had for lunch.
groove.
Right. Layered. So all three of hers involve Rand. The first one married to Rand. The second one ran under crumble, all this rock and stuff, and where she learns that he can actually be turned to the dark side. And let's put a pin in that. And the third one where she is the Amarillan and has been asked to condemn Rand to stilling, aka death, more or less, which is
Well, they don't kill them. They just get them off from the one true source, right?
yeah, but
But it's
I mean,
like death, right? Because they're so tormented by the fact that they can't access the one power.
I don't think
Yeah,
they
they-
survived.
One
they
power
saw
is
Logain. Logain
have
was just
no
sobbing.
will to live, right?
right.
Yeah,
They
takes away that.
it's like what
Why-
Cuckoo's Nest, Jack McMurdy, when he when they lobotomize him.
Right. Yeah, like Ryan.
All right, guys.
now. Yeah.
So kill it.
Bella.
All right, no, I'm gonna yell Bella. You guys do Wild Thing. All right, you ready?
5, 6,
Wild thing. You
You
make
make
my
a
heart
heart
sing.
sing. You did
You make
everything.
groove.
Ruby. Oh, wow thing. Oh, Ryan, you've jumped right in perfectly. Well done.
Thank you, thank you.
Dun,
Ugh,
I think
thank you.
I want to know for sure.
we do take requests.
Okay. You take requests, not me. Not me.
I think I started that off with my mouth closed, and I was like, "Oh shit, open my mouth!" I was so excited to do it.
So I want to talk about the fact that channelers have a weakness.
Sure.
It is she says the weakness of our strength. Everyone else is as safe as a fortress. Only their deeds and will can turn them to the shadow. But if you can channel, and they're determined enough, they have 13 Dreadlords and 13 Mirror Draw, and I don't know, maybe 13 witnesses. They can actually turn you against your will to the shadow. Boom. So that little wild card is dropped into the mix. And it's good that when you have a magic system that there does have some limitations, or, you can't all be Superman. You got to have a kryptonite. So, any thoughts? I don't know. I just word salad.
Well, I mean, it makes you wonder. Like, well,
We're
there's
done.
at least we know that there are Black Aja. We know that, right? We understand that they exist. We don't know, I guess, how many, whatever. Are we assuming that all the Black Aja all just kind of chose it? Like, yeah, let's get on board. Like, I want to like go to Disneyland. They're buying a ticket, or
No.
like, is there
I
a
don't
number
think
of them
so.
that might be like now that it's interesting to think that when you meet someone who's a channeler and a dark friend, were they compelled, or were they, or do they choose? And does that make you
Correct.
think about them differently? It adds a level to this all when you learn this, because the way of Leaf, we are trying to learn about it. We're trying to increase our empathy and then learn how to read these books.
Right. Was Leandrin, did she choose to become a Black Aja, or was she forced into it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Or did they just
I don't
threaten to kill every one of her extended loved ones once a month until she chooses, right? Like we've seen that happen to
Right.
Fuckface.
They're tormented. A lot of them
Fuckface
are
McWhitecloak.
tormented.
Yeah, but he wasn't able to channel, presumably. Fuckface.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, but he was compelled in another way.
Sure.
Like what would you do for your family? Like, it's crazy when you put it.
But there's a difference between there being no door in the wall and there being a door in the wall that's cracked open. I mean, I think that's the difference between someone who can channel and someone who can't, right? It's like, sure, you can break down the wall with violence and compelling them, but you can't just flip a switch and have them do it against their will.
All right, so guys, this is getting crazy. Maurice is bringing in some experimental math. Yeah, 13 channelers plus 13 fades, which is 26, and then we got 27, then we got 3 times 3 times 3.
Yeah. Double that and you have 666.
Yes.
Running with the devil.
All right. Are we gonna have a numerology off?
Well, here's a little thing I underlined here, is that generally we hear light burn you as a curse. But here, when she left Rand in the second one, it says light burned her to ash. Huh. Any I mean, just, I don't know, I thought I would point that out, I guess.
Light burned her to ash.
She was washed clean of false pride. You were washed clean of false ambition. You come to us washed clean in heart and soul. False pride and false ambition. How do we relate that to her not being able to save Rand? Because she was like, oh, I have the power to do it, but I think I would bring the whole thing down. Blah, blah. Also didn't allow Rand to kill himself or kill him.
And he's like trying to hold back side in like the whole time. Like, yeah, he's using all his strength internally to like thwart off the madness.
Yeah, because he's he's a fucking hero in that like little story, man. He's a badass motherfucker. Like, he was saving the world with his fucking mind. He's like, if I do one thing besides hold this thing off, I will not control myself. I will go. Yeah, it's really cool, the implications there.
Yeah.
So he gives her truth that Shirian was baffled. She's like, whoa, you're not supposed. Okay, this is just between you and me, okay? But yes, he was totally right.
Which is weird, right?
Right.
Okay, I was like, okay, come on. Like, why is she? And then, like, what is happening when she's spilling the beans? Is everyone just pretending? Like, are they all, like, busy? Like, what's... Is this room huge? Like,
it's huge, and they're busy. They're sitting there meditating, like, holding these gates open.
These are Ace and I. They don't miss any... Okay, well, anyways...
Well, and Shiriam tries to brush her off. She goes, custom is not to speak of what happens within the ter'angreal. A woman's fears are her own. And she's all, can they? And she's like, all right. All right, yeah, since you asked twice.
Seriously, since you're really emotional.
All right. Okay. All right, real fast. Before you finish the ceremony.
I'm not going to explain why I'm changing my mind. I'm just going to change my mind and tell you.
Okay. He totally. Yeah. But he does share some truth that was not available to her before.
I mean, it's also, it's like she's becoming more empathetic as the thing goes on, and she's getting, I mean, it's like you even see it described in the first part of the chapter. She's like, oh, there's a tiny bit of empathy behind her normally hard eyes. And like here we see it softening further as she's like been tortured twice, essentially, and is on her way to the third time.
Right.
All right, so KayK has publicly said that she thinks that Shiriam is a black Aja. How do you feel about her now?
Yeah, I don't actually feel like that now.
Okay, all right, change your mind.
I think we're left to wonder.
I feel like she's exhibited a lot of like motherly traits in these chapters, and done things that are very caring and warm. Just different than I expected.
She's kind of
and
like,
I don't yet know. I don't feel like I totally trust anybody necessarily, specifically, but yeah.
All right, so what were you gonna say, Josh? Something to that effect, though?
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say, I think the narrative does lead us to wonder if she's a dark one, or dark friend. There's definitely a lot of little things inserted to make you question.
Yeah, well, she was there with the gray Aja, the gray man.
Yep, and I mean, she knows about the 13 being able to turn. I mean, who knows if that is knowledge that like everyone has or not. She does drop her voice. I mean, few in the tower know it, is how it's described.
Whoa, good point. Now, I guess one implication is like if she is a black Aja, fuck. What's going on there then?
But we are, wherever we wonder if she's Black Aja, we're seeing the chapter through the eyes of Egwene as she becomes progressively more paranoid in her world, which we've seen over the whole course of this book, right? So it's like, again, the narrative leads us to believe that, whether it's true or not.
Right.
Gosh,
so she
everything.
is.
Sorry.
Go on. Yeah. No, please go on.
Well, there's that last. Go on.
I'm sorry.
There's three Aes Sedai. There's three Aes Sedai that she is. So there's Shiriam. Shiriam, she thinks, oh, she might be black. Elida, she's like, oh, she's. My vision says she's black. Alana later's like, I'm so fucking sorry that I totally blew it. I shouldn't have let you in there. I'm gonna share your. And she's like, are you black? So to your point,
well, that's
Josh,
her paranoia. Yeah, like coming stronger and stronger. Like,
and then we have that scene at the end of the chapter where she's having an argument with Alana, and then she forgot Egwene was there, and she's like, "What? You never saw this?"
Yeah.
I'll
Which
gut
is
you like a fish.
What's that all about? Which is like, what? Oh, we lost KayK.
Okay. Damn it.
Oh,
well, I want to know. So we get to the entry where she sees herself in the mirror wearing the striped stole. I want to know, does Kay see it as pastel colors or bright colors?
Okay.
What do you guys see in your mind's eye?
Well, in my mind's eye, it's always been the rainbow flag.
Yeah,
straight up.
There's the skull right there.
Bold as fuck. Like, but this is when I read this, it was like 20 years ago. The rainbow flag was not really a common place as it was, as it is.
I don't see it like a rainbow flag. I see it looking like pale crochet. Like, not like. I mean, where are they getting these dyes from in this world anyway? It's not like they have synthetic dyes. So how could it possibly be these like rainbow colors in that way that are like seriously defined? That's a byproduct of technological innovation. It's not something that you see in clothing prior to even the 20th century, right?
Well, we do see different fashions. We've seen that there's women.
Yeah, sure. There's
that
different fashions, but I'm saying like the way that we have clothes that are like bold with like sharp lines, like that is not something that is common in history. That has been only for the shortest blink of an eye on the human timescale in our world. And it doesn't seem like this world has a bunch of technology. It seems really unlikely that they would have synthetic dyes that would allow them to create bold colors, right? I mean,
the one I could think of is the Tinkers. Their clothes were so bright that it hurt parents' eyes, he said, or something.
Yeah, but that could just be the clashing colors. He says that they dress in a clashing way. It's not necessarily that the colors are so bright, but that they're jarring to look at because.
Bro,
very good point.
They were in fucking day glow, bro.
Yeah.
Go back to the text. It's all day glow and neon fucking techno.
They're all wearing construction worker vests.
I hear polka. I hear polka when we're.
No, the Tinks are doing
It's
polka.
like gypsy polka, you know, like.
That's awesome. Hey, brother Dan, I know KayK had some comments about this and wanted to relate it to the actual trailer. But we've lost her. Why don't we take a break and take a 10-minute break, and I'll help you get back on, and we'll continue the discussion.
Sounds good. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Who are we listening to?
Well, let me find it.
I like what Glenn's saying here. It's true. We don't know what life forms have evolved at this point of time, giving different pigments. It's true.
Play some iris fibers if you got them.
You mean Irish fibers?
Iris fibers are smiling.
I got ogres. It's me and Iris. So it's Iris and me. Iris and I. Ogres are like onions. Everyone, mute your mics.
And thanks again, Dan Conroy.
Yeah, no, and actually our latest Patreon member is the Wheel Reads.
Oh, the Wheel Reads!
I just haven't updated that fucking thing, and I will soon.
All right, we will. Sorry, guys.
You deserve it, Wheel Reads. We'll be back in 10. Gather up,
I
guys.
want to go out there. I don't know what's going on. So they're sending.
Second half is starting soon.
So you think he's yelling help? Yes. Alright, what is your There's gunshots.
Yeah, that's me on base. Really on base right there. Listen to that. Oh, it's so excited. Fuck this. I don't know what's going on. I lost the picture. Everybody, we're back.
Hey, welcome back, guys.
We're back.
I will
You come here for the professionalism, you leave for the humor.
Right.
That's the motto.
I'm trying to unmute Kay.
Yeah, you guys got to unmute yourself.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, guys, let's get into it. Everyone's excited in the chat.
Ryan, you said there's humor in this show?
Well, here, let's solo your face.
Nice.
What a burn. So toasted. You guys so toasted.
It's only
I got a brand on my face.
Yeah, it's only funny because he's adorable.
How dare
I know,
you?
just trying to squish his little face.
All right, so there's let's jump right into the next chapter. It's chapter 23. It is sealed. It is the Wheel of Time symbol.
There are 23 people watching.
Hang on.
Josh, right now there are 23 viewers, and we're on chapter 23.
Oh,
I love it.
Is this a numerological vortex? Can we survive this, or are we going to be
23? 23 is the number of the Illuminati too. I mean,
I know. Are we going to? I feel like I'm growing bigger.
Word.
whoa.
I'm growing bigger. Oh,
You
damn,
are.
it's got inverted.
What is happening?
I got inverted for a minute. The universe shifted on me.
We fucking lost a viewer. Never mind.
Benjamin.
Shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
someone went to
Fucking
bed.
land.
Damn it. They're like, well, fuck this. All right, so she comes out. Boom.
Hang on 1 second. We got to touch on one thing before we go to 23.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
This doesn't make me happy to point out, but I feel like I have to do it.
Uh-huh.
So here's the passage in question. This man, abandoned of the light, has touched Sidene, the male half of the true source. Okay.
Yes.
Listen to the words. This man has touched the male half of the true source.
Yes.
What does that sound like to you?
One half of the
The
true source.
Okay, let me shorten the sentence a little more. This man has touched the male.
One boob, one ball, one brain,
Yeah.
one ear, one.
I mean-
nostril, one finger.
Isn't there's an implicit,
Of
I mean, there's just an implicit homophobia in this. There is. This man has touched the male is essentially the important part of that sentence.
That is a good one.
And you ever thought about in is inside in?
Mm-hmm. Side in. Yeah.
and then
Freud.
You gotta put it in, right?
Yeah. I mean, it just shocked me to like really see it spelled out so plainly. And it made me a little sad.
well, in the 80s.
Yeah, and we haven't seen any homosexual characters. We've seen the gender roles be super vanilla. We know that he's a conservative Christian, the author. And I mean, given what's going on with Biden, and I mean, it's clear that like
Side in and bite in.
side in, Biden.
Hey, Jack.
That just happened.
No, keep going. No. Yeah. No, like what's going on?
Are we talking content, boys, or what? Huh?
Josh, I guarantee you these conversations are happening. I'm glad you're bringing these up. You have every freaking right to, and I enjoy that you, as a male, are consistently finding these things that are troubling you. I'm happy to engage with these conversations. Like,
let me say the whole passage so that we get a glimpse, because I think Josh may have a little point here.
You know what ass is in passage?
This man.
You hear how passage is homophobic? Sorry,
it's ageist too.
Ass.
Read it.
Age.
This man, abandoned of the light, has touched Sidene, the male half of the true source. Thus do we hold him. Most abominably has this man channeled the one power, knowing that Sidene is tainted by the Dark One, tainted for men's pride, tainted for men's sin. Thus do we chain him. It's a weird fucking passage.
Yeah,
It's very weird. They all
I mean,
have pride in
it made me wonder where the taint came from too. Is the taint because the Dark One touched it, or is the taint implicit? And again, this, depending on what level you're reading this at, like that can have a lot of different meanings. Or was it tainted because of what happened with men channeling the power? Was it tainted in response to, or is it implicitly tainted? I think that's something we don't know either.
Okay. Right on.
What?
Yeah, I'm not sure what we know either. So
I believe there's been some people trying to explain it. Whether or not you believe what they're saying, it is one thing, right? Like, yeah, but I do believe we have some people have tried to explain how it got tainted. I believe we've read this. I'm being very careful right now. I believe we have read this, and it
possible.
Yeah,
not in this book.
So at some point,
yeah. So Luz Theron, we see Luz Theron immediately after the taint occurs.
Mm-hmm. In the intro of book 2.
In the intro to book 1, yes.
Book 1.
Yeah. Where he is just, his madness is going, and we hear from Ishmael that the Dark One's taint has infected, and in fact, it's madness is guaranteed. Mm-hmm. This was when they were closing the prison on the Dark One. All the men went out. The women decided they weren't going to go, but all the men went out and they went to like close the bore, and it got blasted. And that's what happened with Luz Theron. And so that's Sidene is now still has this taint of the Dark One's touch.
It's called the Dark One's counterstroke. Mm-hmm. if you want to keep going there, Josh.
Stroke me.
Sorry, I was a KayK. Yep.
It's so great to hear Josh speak to the level of which you read this, because then I really go into my own brain and I start self-evaluating, like, what level am I reading this on? Because I really dip down to, I think, the lowest level sometimes.
Okay, I do the same thing when I talk to this guy.
It's fun, so I'm enjoying it.
Well, here's what's fucked up is it's alluded that Egwene has stilled or gentled men in the past. She knows what they're saying. It says that she pushed the rest out of her head. Mm-hmm. I mean, why does she know it so well? She just knows everything? Is she just a smarty pants? Or has she actually been a part of one of these stilling ceremonies?
Presumably she's been a part of one or many, but she can't do it to her loved one.
Right?
All right.
Or her loved one in a different life. anyways, right?
Brother Dan, I need to go back before we get too far ahead and let chat have their say to Josh. So, Josh, you called out Robert Jordan as a Christian conservative.
I don't know that he is, but
well, I mean, we do know that he claims to be
High Church Episcopalian.
A High Church Episcopalian. So yeah, so people are telling you that yes, Episcopalians do have gay bishops and gay priests.
That doesn't just because he's a member of it. I mean, that doesn't mean that his personal. I mean, it feels like his personal views are being expressed pretty clearly through the text. I mean, maybe it's a part of the narrative. Maybe it's just the only way that he felt like he could weave the story.
Yeah, but also so to say he's not a conservative, he was a liberal Southern gentleman. I think to modern standards, maybe that's pretty fucking conservative.
Yeah, it might be.
Back then, he might have been fucking hitting it.
Yeah, guy went to the
gay bars and titty twisting, but no, right now, he's probably sounds pretty outdated, and I do believe a lot of his writing is outdated, and I think it's fine, and I think Josh will handle all the hate.
No, but Josh is right. There has
eloquently.
There's been no. There's.
We're saying hi, Stella.
Hi, Stella. Yeah. So to Josh's point, there has been no gay characters or overtly gay characters in. But I mean, let's read this through like a queer theory thing and say, all right, what was Matt and Rand's journey together, but not love. In almost, I mean, they slept in the same beds. Maybe they weren't like poking pickles and doing shit like that, but I mean, it was as intimate as you could get.
Sure, and I mean that in of itself doesn't preclude. I mean, that's just establishing a norm for what is acceptable male love between men. It doesn't, so you can read that both ways too. Whether that's a limiting factor at the edge of thought in the space, or is that an establishment of something that goes beyond it? I don't know, and that's
I would say that our characters aren't established as necessarily heterosexual as well. Rand says, "Yeah, I guess I'm supposed to marry Egwene," and Egwene says the same.
The social norms are similar to our own world, I think, at a minimum.
But if we read Matt as being gay, or if we read Perrin as being gay, that I don't think that there's much difference.
Whoa, that's now that's so crazy. Now I think you're going out on a limb that I've never heard.
No, I'm just saying in these first 3 books,
there's no, I think to say that might be literally insulting to gay people, because they have a much bigger experience. They are constantly thinking about women and wishing the other dude was around so they get advice on how to fucking win over a woman.
Being uncomfortable around a woman, if you are gay living in a heterosexual world, does not seem out of line for me.
Okay, well, how about this? To Josh's point, when Robert Jordan was asked, why would he have names that are similar to each other? It's hard for people to remember, and he's like, "Well, I'm trying to create an immersive world, and imagine a world where no one has similar names." Right, and that was his rationale. I have Tam and Land and Rand, and fucking Flam and Flim Flam and
Flam. Go on.
Wham and Ding Dong. I have them all because that's a normal, real experience. People have similar sounding names, and that's how the world is. And if and he wanted it. He's so intensely trying to create an immersive world, yet he has no overtly gay characters. His world does not involve gay people, and I think that's fine to admit. If that, it just his life probably he wasn't going around and hanging out with. It seems very clear. He wants an immersive world, but he doesn't involve certain groups, and we can call it out. I think it's fine. It was 30 years ago, and he was probably
and I mean, it was a long time ago.
And the effeminate.
There's so much that happens in that world. I'm sorry.
No, please go on, Kay.
Quick thing. There's so much that happens in the world of the LGBTQ community that is constantly and ever changing. It's just, it's from one moment to the next to the next. It is forever changing and evolving, and that's what's really beautiful about the whole thing. So, as at least part of it in my eyes. So this is just my own opinion, and for me, that's really important, that it's forever evolving and forever changing to the point at which it works for them. And yeah, 30 years ago to this point, it didn't matter as much as it does now. And not that it didn't matter, but we didn't talk about it as much. It mattered a lot, but we didn't talk about it. And nobody was talking to each other about it. You certainly weren't talking about any relation to any characters in any books about it when it wasn't obviously or very apparent they put out there and just thrown in your face. If it wasn't very specifically LGBTQ of the nature in any way, shape, or form, then it was just not spoken.
Yeah.
And that's the difference, I think, right now. So for Robert Jordan to even for us to even say anything about what he's talking about and what is going on here, I think it's just it's cool that we can have these conversations.
Totally.
At all.
But yeah,
Right.
but what
it's
was
also okay
yeah.
that he was not comfortable going there 30 years ago.
Well, 30 years ago, that community, the LGBTQ community, didn't exist. There were gay. I mean, you were there was.
Right. It was different.
Transgender wasn't really a thing. We could so
well, it was always a thing, right? But it was just
but not but not
wasn't there. We didn't have language
exactly.
around
We didn't have the language
the way that we need or want to, right? So,
yeah,
it's tricky. But
amazing. I just think it's interesting that it's like the reverse of the biblical story, right? Like here we have men's sin as opposed to Eve's sin, right? And like it's this clear
nice
flipping on the head of like our world's historical precedent that we have in Western culture anyways, that this book is emerging from. So I don't know. That's what made me think about it and apply a lens of sexuality to it and gender identity as well, is like that inversion of our own worldview. I don't know how important it is or if it's even valid, but it's just something that got me thinking about.
So I mean, so we have gender split societies. We have the white tower, we have the white cloaks. Anything that says white in front of it is no other sex. Yeah, are we really assuming there's no gay stuff going on? I mean,
well, no,
we've got those. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay, don't ask, don't tell.
If these are the priests and nuns of the. All right. Anyways, let's. Anything else that we want to bring up about the test?
All right, just Josh, you did. Glenn, who's probably read these a whole shit ton, never thought about the Eve aspect. Ben saying, "Is it men's sin?" A great call, but is that homophobia or just flipping traditions?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. That's why I kind of brought it up.
Yeah,
What is the implication of it being man's sin? How and from what side do you view that, and how does that look differently depending on where you're standing in terms of interpreting the narrative? Yeah, sorry,
also,
let's go on.
No, and also real quickly, let me just help clarify for people. When Josh says Josh references RJ's homophobia, he's not flat out saying RJ is a homophobic. He's stating an understanding that people are on a spectrum and they are in a process towards understanding, and everyone has certain things within them that come out in their art, like whether or not it be like biases. So I think he's not trying to say that RJ is a bad person, he's a homophobic, and he's right. Like he's not saying that. He's just saying that if you read deeply in the text, you're going to find something about RJ that he might not even want you to find, and that's a supposition he's going to claim, and I think it's a fair point. But he's not trying to just label him a homophobic, and that's like
it's not meant to be a judgment. Sorry, it's not meant to be a judgment. It's
Chat
just
is responding if you are judging, and so these are nuances, Josh.
No.
They will get to know
We
you.
know Josh better than that.
Yeah, no, but that's how that Josh does not think in black and whites ever, and everything is on spectrums and under and like levels degrees. So when you hear Josh say something like that, when he's saying RJ's homophobia, that's just what he's talking about. Like he might have a 0.5% bit of homophobia in there, but he thinks he's seeing it in the text, and I think it's a valid point. Thanks, guys.
Right on.
Thank you.
So Egwin comes out. Boom. She's like, "What the fuck? It's Rand. Am I just gonna fucking just let this man down every single time? This is my test. Is if I'm a friend of Rand."
And there are 2 Aes Sedai sitting at every point in front of the rings now, holding it down.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice that.
Shit's going bonkers. Like
shit is going bonkers.
There's violent streaks of light on the silver mirrors. Like, yeah, shit's going nuts.
They're like, and she's like, "What the fuck?" And they're like, "Oh God, thank God you're okay." And she's like, "What do you even mean?" And they're like, "No, shit was going." Yeah, I think she said, "What was the quote here?" Alana said, "The reverberation quote returned 1,000-fold, 10,000-fold." And then the rings seemed to be resisting the flows and, quote, almost melted into the stone.
Which is crazy.
So, fuck.
Badass.
I'm sorry.
And also, going back to the whole thing where she says forever and forever, which was her experience, do you think there's some sort of relationship between time and Josh, you think it's Tel'aran'rhiod, Kay, you think it's flicker, which makes me think more time, which, to be honest, it seems to indicate flicker, but it might also, do you think there's a time component to the dream world, Josh? And do you think, right, like, do you think that, like, so when she's saying forever,
I think the way I interpret is that the wheel, it's like quantum time here. Like, we have to observe, the wheel turns in the forever, right? Right now we're inside the wheel. The patterns are, the wheel is weaving its meta pattern, and that is the forever. The Tel'aran'rhiod is that which is between things, right? So
is it closer to forever than reality is?
Well, I go back to the Gnostic mythology of like the idea of this, like, that the creator deity and Satan essentially are the emergent properties of a higher order system, which itself exists outside of time. I have no idea if Robert Jordan has read Gnostic texts, but from my own worldview and experience, that's kind of how I see reality and how I see the emergence. So again, like you were talking about, the multiplicity, right? Like we have time emerging from the background of foreverness. So whether it doesn't really matter whether it's Tel'aran'rhiod or if it's her, transiting the distance, the infinite distance between that reality and the gate of the real world. It doesn't really matter in my mind. You can interpret it a bunch of different ways.
Okay. Beautiful. And awesome. Let's go on. We'll dip back into this conversation probably later.
One thing to quickly point out before we get too far away is the 13 Aes Sedai are needed to gentle a man who can channel. Okay. Interesting parallel, right, between the 13 Dreadlords and the Midral. And why is it called gentling versus stilling? Okay. Any ideas why they have different terminology?
Oh man, gentling versus stilling.
You gentle a man who's channeled. You still a woman.
And you still a woman.
That's a good question.
This is a really good question. Fuck you, Josh. Good question. Hold on.
Hey, let's ask chat that question too.
No, okay. Yes. Please
Sorry.
ask chat that question. I mean, chat should be answering anyway, right?
Yeah, keep it up, chat. But God damn it, Kate, great, keep going. I'm sorry to interrupt.
I forget so quickly. Gentling versus stilling. It's just full. It feels just very gender rolly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean they are violent, the men, right? In their eyes.
Yeah, they're kind of feral.
Let's gentle this man
beast
that's going
this
crazy
beast.
and freaking out, and we're just gonna still the woman.
Still the candle.
I don't know.
Well, maybe it's like spay and neuter.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, that's more so.
It's just.
I was going with that. Yeah.
And one last question.
Brent Weber has a great answer. I want to highlight it. Gentilling, which is a fun word, is softer sounding
lace and a pretty
as it is done to men as a mercy to the world. Stilling is harsh because women deserve that power.
Yeah.
I
like that. Do you think
maybe they can handle it, huh?
Yeah, they can handle it, exactly.
Maybe the women can just handle that kind of power.
You can handle giving birth to a child, that's
I like the word deserve, man. Women deserve it. Yeah. I like that word too. I think handling it is implied when you say they deserve it.
They bring life into the world. They deserve higher power.
Women can handle anything.
We have gentled that man.
Do you think that Egwene would have been successful at freeing Rand from the circle of 13 sisters if she had stayed? Okay.
No. When did you become a fucking host, Josh?
Josh
Josh as in
emphasis on the ew.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so cute. You have a little girl.
When did you become a fucking
I learned from the best. I learned from the best.
They're very good. Yeah, you're like a sponge, Josh. Just it up from above, huh?
Yeah.
Nice, Hedski.
Top of the morning, Hedski. So.
What was the question?
Never mind.
Okay. What was that? I'm kidding.
All right, we are going to. All right, before we go to that, let's. Elida brings her stuff. Talks mad shit.
Dan, I think you just got fucking owned. You just got owned. The Jeep Sing Narwhal just owned you.
Right? Yeah. Right? Come on.
Right, the sheet.
This man touched a man, right? Jesus Christ, I love Dijit, dude. That's so funny.
All right, so I want to, Elida, I want to just remind everyone that Elida has foretellings. She sees the future, and she talks mad shit on Egwene. She was present in Egwene's what will be nightmare. Was the main antagonist, in fact. Give me predictions as far as Elida's role. Do you think what's going on with Elida here? Is she right? I mean, she can see the future.
Doesn't okay, good point. Kind of. All the time? Is she like even the Pope when he fucking sneezes and says, like he's not like predicting the future. It's like a very specific thing that happens when the Pope is like, I'm doing a papal bull and now it's a future, blah blah blah, right?
The Pope sneezes and he just looks up and waits, and then God goes, "You're blessed," and he goes, "Okay," and then he wipes his boogers.
I think he picks his nose, but
I think he does too.
I think there's several.
And that's
pictures of him.
and in fact that's why he wouldn't let him kiss the ring that one time.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember he kept pulling his hand back?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you guys got to people in chat. If you haven't seen this, Google Pope Francis doesn't want people to kiss his ring, and watch how violently he is about not letting these people that have been waiting their whole lives to come and kiss that fucking ring.
Dan, all right, Dan. Let's.
And he pulls back every single time. He goes, psych, psych, psych.
Yeah,
yoink,
no,
yoink.
It's all Lucy telling like Charlie's Brown to go pick the football. All right, yeah.
That's exactly what it was. No one got it.
Let's explain. Dan, the Illuminati, we've learned their role is to make sure that no one has any pictures of him picking his nose. If you have a picture of the Pope picking your nose on your cell phone, you will get the Illuminati rappelling into your bedroom at night, murdering you in your sleep, Green Beret style, taking your phone.
Silencers.
Never get out. Those are holy boogers.
They actually leave a golden apple.
It's actually the mispronounced. It's actually the Illuminati, but no one's been getting it. Like,
well,
and then lost in translation there.
Illuminati. It means the light see your booger.
Yes.
And then all the Illuminati are like waiting by the house, and when they see gray smoke,
Eris, yes. Thank you, Glenn. Somebody knows.
They see gray smoke.
And Glenn happens to be the one.
There you go.
The Illuminati. Sorry, guys. Fuck. All right. Hey, that's a real reference. I just made up Illuminati. So fuck off.
Illuminati's great. Those are good.
Hey, she is the god of chaos.
Yes.
So Alana wants to share in the punishment. She's like, I fucked up so bad. Oh, I fucked up. I should be beaten just like you're gonna get beaten. You know how you gotta go in the morning? You know how you gotta start your day before you even get food? By getting beaten?
Over.
I'm gonna meet you there. I'm gonna get beaten too. And you know, afterwards, when you gotta clean out them fucking pots, I'm gonna do it too. And they're like, no, fuck, what the fuck are you talking about? Another fish reference, or when the Bilge Boys, something about the master doesn't hang out with the Bilge Boys.
Mm-hmm. Except when he wants to.
I thought that was a band. Sorry.
Master and the Bilge Boys?
No, yeah.
That's a great band.
No, yeah, actually, oh my god. Bonus points to Village Mattress. Alana likes being spanked.
It does seem that way, Village Mattress.
There's a mattress ad for you.
Yes.
Just her laying on the bed. Nice, Kay.
Yeah, Marcy, punish me, mommy.
You know what? Call me dirty while you're doing it.
Oh no, are we kink shaming him?
MFL? Wait, RFL? What is that word? What is that word?
It might be a spoiler. All right.
Oh.
Who does sea shanties? Fill in the blank. Who's they? Just like
we do.
Just non-binary characters doing sea shanties. Go on.
What did you make of Elida running up at high speed with the final chalice? Like, do you think she's worried about the rings melting down and giving everyone? Like, didn't we learn that when the ring, whatever the two Angriel melted, it like
of them melting into the stone. Sorry.
Yeah, and then they couldn't like channel for a week.
No, weeks. They had headaches for weeks.
Yeah, they had headaches
for weeks.
They couldn't touch the source for a week. Can you imagine? I mean, touch the source.
Can't touch this.
Can't touch the source.
Joshua.
Yeah.
My headache's hard so much I can't even touch the source.
Can't touch this. Yeah. Thank you.
Try to do wheeze. I cannot do it. I'm gonna have to lay down and do it. All right.
So funny.
All right. So Egwin asked about Ajas. We learned about Ajas. We learned the green. What's the quote here?
Well, she gets accused of being a wilder too. I think that's kind of important.
Yeah, from a lighter.
A wilder in spirit, a wilder in ways.
What a jerk.
Yeah, that's like, that's like calling him a mudblood, I think, or something.
Yep.
You know those.
I just want to go back to touching the source. All right.
Hold on, pop it back up real fast. Pop it back up.
Yeah.
So is that thing that Trump is touching? Is that the taint?
No, that's the true source. He's tainting it.
No. That's
the dark one tainting the true source.
This is the moment.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, this is the dark one's counterstroke.
Boy, that's controversial.
He is holding the black part of the globe.
That's right. Yeah. Boy, that's controversial.
God, did that deserve a fucking like and subscribe?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Patreon, right? DeeTee, Patreon, come on now.
And so, right. Brian's just calling out people now. Hey, I don't see you on the list, buddy.
Hey, he's the dark one trying to, coerce people over here.
Wow.
This is the best show we've ever had, guys.
I want to see 13 Ryans in a circle.
Hey, I like playing in 13-8, which is so funny.
And all 13 of them are just stilling shame. Shame is gentled. All right. Guys, Josh, you've been talking about it for the last 2 days. Kay, what Aja would you choose based on the information you've been given so far?
Okay, my brain is scrambled from this question. Oh gosh, I love this scene. So much. Okay.
All right. What Aja? You're coming out of the water.
Okay, well, I mean, Chalice is poured over my head. Well, I don't have to choose Ben, right? It's after
No.
that the thingy. So, I don't know yet. I've gone around and around, and I can't decide. So right now, I'm really leaning towards green only because I think that they're amazing, and I think that I've identified with Egwin's character more so in this whole situation than anyone else. So I think I would. And I feel like she's gonna go green. That's how I feel like.
Yes, there's a prediction. Egwin's green.
Well,
yes.
The first is
green.
The first.
And she was in her vision, right?
In
her vision, she was, and so but they're,
But the first describer we hear from Alana Sadai is, quote, "First you must love men." I don't mean be in love with them, but love them.
Love them.
Does that track? That tracks.
That tracks. You're all right.
So brown is knowledge, blue causes.
They meddle in
brown.
causes.
Right. White, logic and truth.
Take that off.
Green, stand at the ready.
Battle Aja.
Red.
Battle Aja. I'm always ready for that.
I mean, Josh, you kind of hate yourself.
And we know red are designed to take out male channelers.
Right.
What is
Josh,
do we have gray?
You're also super smart, so.
And gray's diplomacy, right?
50 Shades.
But also white is cold hard logic, right? White are the
logic and truth,
yeah, which I can also see you fucking going white, Josh.
I can see.
I can't help it but interpret it in like Magic the Gathering colors. So
I can also see Josh.
Look at these. I can see you're draping all of. What color do you want to be on Egwin right now?
I really do feel, yeah, come on. Like,
poo.
imagine this is like that
Yeah.
chalice scene. Because instead of like water being poured on you,
You're either
just
brown or
come
white,
out
bro.
and
Come
you
on.
are
No,
born.
yeah, Brown. I can
Oh,
see
yeah, you're
Josh
right.
with the fucking owl in his office.
I care too much about things being clean and neat and orderly. I don't know that I could be a brown.
No, yeah, I think. Oh, white.
No, not white. White is too concerned with capital T truth, I think.
Okay.
I think I.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
nice.
man.
Yeah.
Go on.
Probably
what are you
either blue or green, I'm guessing.
Fuck.
Hmm.
All right.
Probably blue,
Well,
given that.
All right, because I could kick. I mean, like.
I'm gonna be like,
I get-
Elida? Wait, who says? Yeah.
I can see Josh being all meddling in causes.
Sure.
Yes. Oh yeah, Josh. Yeah. I can see. Yeah, blue. Yes.
I can see Josh meddling.
Just
Can it
meddling
be
in
like
general.
like a aqua, like a
Meddling.
white blue and white together is like a pale blue.
I want to be
That's what I'm
the.
wondering. I want to be at the margins of the colors. Yeah, not
Yeah, I want to be the
Oh, my
diplomacy. What is it?
the
They're gray.
liminal space.
Josh wants it all.
Is gray the diplomacy, Ryan?
Yes.
I want to do that. I want to show up into town and like all backslap and like, have parties and have like know all the good DJs in town. I want to know like all like the cool hangouts. I want to know the ins. Just show up. Everyone's like, "Yay, brother Dan Sadai's here," and I'm like, "Yo, what up?" I have special handshakes with bouncers and stuff because I'm diplomatic.
Yeah.
Love it.
You're like, I got immunity.
Love it.
I got. You just want the diplomatic
Love
immunity,
it.
Dan. Just trust me. No one listen to this, man. You will get away with murder. All right. You apparently Brent Weber saying we get a Patreon when Josh shows who is controlling the human puppet. Who is the Oz behind Josh?
The Deus Ex Puppeta.
Yeah.
Juice.
What?
Yes. Holy shit.
The fifth wall. The fifth wall, guys.
Yeah, that's not the fourth one. That's the fifth one. Shit. All right, Deus Ex Puppet. Funniest thing you've ever said, Josh. Oh my god.
Joshua.
Ew. Focus on the ew.
All right, so
Oh,
Egwin makes it
God.
back to her room. She's gonna get beat in the morning. No sweat. Elaine is sitting there sobbing. Nynaeve's there petting her hair. Egwin's like, "Oh, that's right. I went through trauma too." Sob.
Well, hang on. I think there's an important thing at the end of the chapter there.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
And I mean,
Whoa.
we are at 2 hours. So she says, this is Nynaeve speaking. She says, "It eases with time. It eases a little. One day we will make them pay our price."
Mm-hmm.
So, like, reading this closely, you can get the sense that they still see themselves as a team separate from the Aes Sedai, right? That, like, there's an othering here of the Aes Sedai forcing them down this path, these wilders who are like essentially being forced to like submit to authoritarian rule. And she, be sealed, as they say, like the special moment she feels where she's sealed, not just to the Amrillan, but to like the Aes Sedai in general. And she points out too in the previous chapter that in her vision, she's not yet taken the oaths.
Correct.
And she somehow knows that, like, which you can read two ways. Either she won't take the oaths, but she'll still become the Amrillan seat in the future, or you could read it as she's remembering her present life. Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. I think you could read it a couple different ways. But is she either remembering her present life, that she is someone who has not taken the oaths, having this concurrent experience, or is she truly an Amrillan seat who was never bound by the three oaths?
Correct.
Very
Very good point. Very good point. And we don't know.
good.
We don't know.
And is there going to be an intersection out? I don't want to say intersectionality. Are they going to intersect with Rand somehow? do you think that's a dynamic that is?
Yeah, I mean
relevant
that's why I still think like Mandarin against the world or whatever. You know, it's like
also?
that's sort of the undercurrent of this whole series so far.
They're the old school, the fantasy Red Dawn.
Again.
Right.
Wolverines
Yes.
or Badgers. All right. Is there anything else you want to? Is there anything else we want to talk about with Eglin before we jump into Matt?
Nope. Were you good?
Do it.
You get
Okay. Chapter 24 is called Scouting and Discoveries. And this is a fan favorite chapter. Guys, we made it. The chat has been waiting for this chapter. They've been drooling over their keyboards. I know they have been.
Be sure to smash our like button and
Subscribe.
Matt is like,
Thank you. Josh heard it.
Matt's doing a little better.
Look.
He's feeling decent enough. He goes for a walk. And he's checking out the scene. He's like, all right. The Amaryllin said that she told all the officers to watch out for me. She finds a bridge guard, and the bridge guard's like, "Hey, motherfucker!" Yeah.
Before we go too far from the first sentence of the
Yes.
chapter.
Oh, please.
I love the imagery. Don't do what?
Don't get too far from the first sentence of the fucking.
Well, no, then we can go way on. But the imagery of sunlight through the carved shutters creeping across the bed woke Matt. Like, not only is light being revealed across him, but like we can feel like in the previous chapter he was so befuddled and like emerging from this haze, and now.
Yes.
And like there were all these images of like clouds out the window and the opaque glass and nighttime and like, and now we see like the light coming,
Yep.
both like in a literal sense and metaphorically. I just, it was a great chapter beginning, I thought, for like what happens
That's funny because
essentially for the character.
Joshua.
Josh, you're accidentally harmonizing with chat right now when you say the light is coming. But let's just move on.
Okay.
And Matt gobbles some ham, turnip, and pear, rather.
Mhm.
Ham, turnip, and pear. What is a breakfast of champions, guys?
Yum.
Ham.
He probably had some hot bread and some mulled wine. All right. Yeah. So he looks at his dice, and what's the quote he says here?
With those, he could get all the clothes he needs.
Right. So yeah, he tucked his dice cap into the pouch. With those, he can get all the clothes he needed.
All the clothes.
All right. Is Matt a cheater?
We talked about this last episode. I mean, I think it's still an open question if he would. I think he runs a loaded die. Yeah.
Okay.
He's
He
certainly-
is. Oh, go ahead.
It's a little too dependent on those.
Yeah, again, I mean, it's implied anyways. I don't know whether it's true or not. We're left to feel like his character's a little shady. I mean, he did steal the dagger from Shadow Logoth.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, yeah, that's the right name, right?
Mm-hmm. He's like, all right, I feel great. Gobble, gobble, gobble. I feel great. Fuck these Aes Sedai. But he wants to say goodbye to the girls,
Which is interesting, right? Like,
I think it's adorable.
Yes. I thought that was great too.
What do you guys think? I mean, and he thinks Elaine's hot.
Do you
He
think
thinks
it's
he may
great
have
too?
he thinks he might have a chance with Elaine. So yeah, she's pretty hot, and I want to. You definitely gotta say bye to the wisdom and Egwin.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
honestly don't know what that was about. I have very little inquiry about that specific part, to be honest. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry.
That's all right.
They did.
I just thought he was friendly. He's like, man, I can't leave without
Yeah, I
saying
just
goodbye to
thought
them.
like, oh, okay, cute. And he wants to say goodbye. He thinks she's hot. Like, very like surfaced what specifically what you said. So, doesn't seem like
It could
Right.
be
Morning,
his.
Josh.
It could be his TAVERN.
breathing in.
Hedski's arguing with you and saying, yeah, he found the dagger.
Sure. He found and adopted the dagger. Yeah.
And there's a lot of chicken discussion. I know there's a thing about chicken.
After
So
all the
yeah,
paperwork.
Oh, that's a what's his name? The Hound.
Matt is not above cheating people. Ben says. And Glenn wants to know who's more chicken, Matt and Tarvalon or the Hound? Okay.
Well, and his dad's a horse trader, and we kind
Exactly.
of discussed that's probably
Oh, so Brent, what is he just going back to tap
Daughter.
yeah.
that fucking keg?
He's gonna tap that redhead.
Okay.
That's funny.
All right, so he talks to the bridge guard. He's like, "Hey, what's the situation over the bridge?" He's like, "Which way?" "East."
White
No,
cloaks.
it's not muddy. Bunch of white cloaks. How about west? He's like, "Fuck you, fuck
White
you,
cloaks.
fuck you, Matt. We know you. We already know you." He's like, "What? Damn it."
Yeah.
He-
You're Barney Frank. I follow you on SoundCloud. You fucking make great music.
Used to.
Okay, sorry, go
It's
on.
Barney Harris, right? Not Barney Frank.
Fuck you.
Barney Frank was the senator of Massachusetts.
No, that's Bernie Frank.
No, it's hold on. I think that's Barney Frank.
Whatever.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
You guys are.
You're always right. Go
I'm
on.
pretty sure. All right, chat. Barney Frank.
You're always right until you're not.
He was great. He was openly gay. He had a gorgeous. Anyways, so
penis?
Matt, gorgeous penis, gorgeous. It tasted like peppermint. See, there we go. He was a representative, Barney Frank. There you go. Ryan, can we do a round of
Oh fuck yeah! Oh, pronounce this. Dude, I'm so. All right, this is gonna be the worst. All right, I got to juggle several things right now. All right, here we go. I'm ready.
You have to jiggle several things or juggle?
Yeah, both.
He was such a good. All right, here we go.
All right,
Guys.
you ready?
Oh damn! I was gonna try
Guys.
3, 2,
guys.
pronounce this.
All right. Okay, slide. Pronounce
This.
this.
Elf. Greenwell.
Elsie Grinwell.
Okay. All right. Wait.
Okay.
Kay, were you laughing or talking? I couldn't.
Both. Both.
Okay, so say it one more time. Oh, for the record,
Elsie Greenwell.
Elsie Greenwell, and then
Elsa.
I know.
All right, Shancy says.
Else Grinwell.
Oh,
you guys better get the next one or else.
Or else.
Are you?
Else Grinwald.
Okay, bye, Elsie Grimwell.
Hi,
All
Elsa.
right,
I say
God.
Elsa.
Pronounce this.
Hamar Gaidin.
Nice. Hammer, Gaidin.
Nice.
Come on.
Gaidin.
It is Gaidin. I think we learned that last time. Gaidin.
All right, well, let's find out what Shancy says.
That image of Shancy is so great.
Hamar Gaidin.
All right, well, let's try not to talk over her.
Hamar Gaidin.
All right, we would lose our sponsorship money if we talked over her. All right, Hamar Gaidin, you
Wait.
guys both suck it.
Sponsorship money?
Yeah, you right?
Yeah,
All
what?
right, here we go.
What?
Bye-bye, Hamar Gaidin.
Bye.
Okay, Sarai. Princess.
Jerome Gaidin.
Jerome
Yeah, I'm-
Gaidin.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
You guys rarely agree. Let's so Shazzy says.
That's so good.
MC Hammer.
Jerome Guidine.
Oh,
Jerome.
you guys are all correct. We got a quorum.
Well,
All right. Well,
Finally.
what do you guys?
1 out of 8.
Finally,
So
Joshua, you got it right.
If you agree with
Shit.
Chassie,
Yeah.
are you happier? Do you sleep better at night?
Shounceny, yeah, makes every night better.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you. Kay left you out high and dry, so you just had to pick that mantle up and run with it.
I did. Yep. Mm-hmm,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving right along.
okay. So we have so he sees Else Grinwell.
Elsie.
He's like Elsa.
Just-
He's like, hey, baby, remember me? She's like, fuck yeah, I do. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't get away. Get away. That's so funny.
Thank you.
No, God!
Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck
like-
to balance bad.
What's that?
He has this phrase here, good luck to balance bad.
Mm-hmm. Balance, yes.
Good luck to bounce back. I did not catch on that, but that's good. And she's all freaked out by him. He's like, whatever. And then he hears the clacking of wooden
Clickety
sword.
clackety clackety clack.
Clack, 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 clack. It sounds like an old school reporter's den where they were typing out the headline after the Sox just beat the Redskins.
Dan, I thought it was the last scene of Karate Kid.
Yeah.
When everyone in the crowd was doing the little bell that goes. Ticka.
Oh, Karate Kid 2?
Fuck yeah.
3?
Whatever.
Oh, 2. That's a terrible one.
When he does the tea ceremony?
It is Karate Kid 2. You're right. Karate Kid
It's a
2
bad
too
one.
many.
Karate Kid 2 is that one.
Too many.
Yeah.
Never mind.
He's like, it's kind of hard to sit cross-legged with this boner. Can we get on with it?
A fucking 27-year-old is playing 17. Let's move
Oh,
on.
dear.
Come on.
Aging as we speak.
Come on. My semen is popping. All right. So he goes over to the practice yard. And he sees warders. He sees Aes Sedai. He sees accepted novices all around because the two hot boys are hot boying it out. They got their shirts off. They're doing it's like Top Gun playing volleyball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're just all grunting and flexing and all sweaty and oily. Oh yeah. And then Hamar Guidine's like, boys, you guys are so hot and all wet and sweaty, guys. You guys take a break while I smoke a bowl.
And Barney Frank is watching, and Barney Frank's with the Ace Sedai is watching.
He's all, those boys look very nice. They look in fantastic shape. Hey, they're in fantastic shape.
They must be looking
How
at
can you
at
not
your,
know this?
their
That's a
front
good
of
Barney.
your-
That's a really good Barney Frank, right? It's a good Barney Frank. I'm not gonna deny it. So Galad and Gawain
and Barney.
You boys need jobs. You guys wash cars. Can you wash a car? Can you wash a car and make it shine like?
Can I
Wash
wipe that
the
sweaty
car.
privilege off of you?
Let me oil you up with some.
I'll treat you like a prince.
All
right. All right. Let's,
Hey, you like
Glenn's
them apples?
totally wrong voice.
I will. Wah. I'm Bonnie Frank. What? What the fuck? It's dead on. You're just wrong, Glenn. You're wrong.
You just sound like Kennedy.
You are wrong.
You're trying to sound like Kennedy with fat jowls. Is what you're trying to do.
I never noticed that Kennedy sounded like Bonnie Frank so much, but I guess that's okay.
You're just doing a jolly Kennedy.
It's
Cross between Kennedy and Nixon.
and Kathleen Hepburn. All right. All right, let's talk about Matt entering and hanging out.
What
was
You got smarter, Ryan. The Josh stand.
Did someone go poo poo?
I think someone sharded. Let's roll out the tape.
Yeah.
Someone
All
sharded.
right, mark it. We're at 218.38. All right, 218. He goes in. He sees all the hot boys doing hot boy things. He sees Hamar, Gaideen. He's like, yeah, I'm smoking a bowl. And then we're back at it. I'm at my Donald already, so hurry up.
Yeah, the Dondle.
Donald, D-O-T-T-L-E. I did look it up. It is the last remnants of a pipe.
It's like the part where like the resin's all over it and it burns really like, oh.
It's all harsh and blah, blah.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
All right, well, Vader's claiming it. Basically, anytime someone shards, we can just blame it. All right, so what do glasses do for a puppet? I'm trying to remember what politician put on glasses the next time he ran for president, and he's like,
"Oh, that was Rick Perry." Suddenly, he became smart.
Right, huh?
He didn't even remember that there was an energy department, and then he became the secretary to the energy department.
Oops! Yeah, because Trump is an evil genius.
Oh, hey! Bring up the light, Ryan.
I love you guys so much.
Bring up the light.
Of course, he made Rick Perry the energy secretary.
Look at that glow. Look at the Saudi guy looks shocked. He's like, it's never glowed before like this.
I know. He's like, it's happening.
This has never happened.
My handler said it wouldn't happen, but it is.
He's like, what? It glows?
I love how Melania's in the back, just like looking the wrong direction.
I know.
She could not be more disinterested.
She's like her own personal Antifa.
They're like, do you want to put your hands on it? And she's like, I don't think so. Thank you.
Ryan, it's unfair I get stuck behind Donald Trump.
I'd prefer not to. Right in his butt. You're coming right out of his butt.
Butthole.
You're right out of his butthole.
Oh! I switched you. And as Cookie said, make up your mind. Do you want the front or butt?
All right.
All right, look that song up. Cookie.
All right, so Matt bets he has 2 silver marks. We know that he only has 2 silver marks and a couple coppers. That's emphasized a couple times.
Gon has a sense of humor.
Oh, Galad, he says. Galad, you have a...
Oh, Galad. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I do. I just don't like making people feel bad. Aw.
What a sweetie.
What a sweetie pie.
What do you guys?
We're just gonna keep doing this for
morning, Niles. That's what Niles.
I know.
Nice.
I like that.
Niles.
What do you guys think of the Royals? We've met him like 4 times. They have met Rand. They have met Nynaeve. They have met Egwene. They are sisters to Elaine, and now they have met Matt. We've had several instances with them. What are your opinions of these two, the G squared? Okay, let me ask you first.
All right.
I don't know. I have very, very small opinions of them.
Nice.
I don't trust them.
Do you think they're small, right?
I
Hey,
do.
Hey, going.
do. I do think they're small.
The first time
I think they're just.
The first time we see Gowan, he is like talking with Rand and kind of advocates for him with more gays. We see him hanging out in Nynaeve's room. Nynaeve's like gives him the 1, 2. Don't make me get to 3, 2, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, I get it."
Yeah. Don't make me get to
3. And now Gowan is. I mean, he seems. He gives up his money. He's like, "Hey, next time I'll listen better. Sorry." He's like, "Hey, sorry I killed your brother." He's like, "Nah, he's fine. He's fucking fine." So, Josh, what are your opinions of these 2 men?
My impression is we're going to be stuck with them for a long time.
Right? They just keep popping up in the weirdest places.
I think they're going to become warders of some of our female characters.
Oh,
if I had to guess.
All right, guys, we hit 29. We almost hit 30.
Do we have overall positive opinions, neutral opinions, or negative opinion?
I think
overall negative. I'm not really very positive about them, anyways.
Okay.
No positive about how negative I am, though.
You hate princes, though. You told me. I tried playing Purple Rain, and you're like, I hate princes. All princes. So
true. So true, Brother Dean. Never listened to a Prince song or enjoyed it one day in my life. Never choreographed a dance to it. Never wore purple velvet or danced in Purple Rain.
Machin Sheen.
I know.
What the? All right,
that was part of Purple Rain. No.
I like both of them. I think. I mean, they're a little full of themselves. I mean,
they're funny. Yeah, they're totally. Yeah, very pompous shits.
We haven't had a chapter from their perspective, so it's kind of hard to like get a good sense of like what their internal dialogue is like. But certainly the small towners from Two Rivers see them as these kind of like snooty-ish, like how Matt describes, their sister, essentially.
Right. Okay. Right on. Matt mutters some old tongue.
Without realizing it.
Does he though?
Realizing it. And then bets his 2 silver marks against 2 of each of them. It's 2v1. And he has a quarterstaff. Now, quarterstaff is a pole.
Mm-hmm. The sexiest of weapons.
The sexiest, baby.
The sexiest
quarter of a staff is so sexy.
It is generally, I guess, about 6 feet tall. Maybe I'm guessing 6.5 feet tall.
And we get the cold to the bone here right before he starts the fight. Just like we do when Rand channels or like fulfills his role as one of the TAVERN. And then like we learn too that another historical hero was one-upped by a farmer in a similar moment, which is again like a repeating event in the Wheel of Time, presumably. I mean, whether that's part of Matt's TAVERN identity or cycle is kind of yet to be decided, but
that was an awesome little story when he's like, Warners! Who was the greatest of them all? And they're all Jerome Gaidin.
Yeah. The Rock!
He's like, he did 1,000 battles and won them all, but lost one time. Just one time. To a farmer with a quarterstaff. Remember this day. And then he's like, to Galad, he's like, Lad, if you ain't getting up now, it's over. So great.
Speaking of getting up, Matt says, Brett
Matt
Weber
is
says
always-
Matt is always at a quarter staff.
It also said that he slid down the Matt slid down the staff to his knees, and then later he was holding himself erect.
Yep.
Yes.
At 6
I
and
think
a half.
I'll be quoting one of our friends from earlier this week. Giggity. Giggity.
Godwin comes over,
himself
gives him
erect.
props. He's like, "You're fucking great. You're really good. You're really good. I'm a warrior, and you beat me. You beat my butt."
Yeah. Really cool.
And Matt's like, "Not as good as my dad. My dad. Oh, you should see my dad. He always beat me with a quarterstaff." And apparently, his dad taught him the killing blow, which he almost delivered.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
Oh,
like,
dear.
"Fuck.
How do you teach your own son that?
Hey, goodness.
Fuck,
you don't.
good thing I didn't.
Let's
Good
not.
thing I didn't."
Well, we learned too that Rand's father won a couple of times as well when he competed.
Tell my boy. Yeah.
Yeah. Dad Thor.
Dad Althor.
But he fucks shit up. He
Yeah.
goes, for Gawain, he goes ankle, wrist, turn, smack to the head. Whoa. Ankle, wrist, head is I said it, the triad of doom right there.
That's a new head, shoulders, knees, and toes. It's head,
Ankle, wrist,
Wrist and
hit
knees.
head
What is
and
it?
fall. Ankle, wrist, you hit your head and then you fall.
This is the best show we've ever done.
How long do you think this fight lasted?
What?
Not very long.
Okay, a minute.
Yeah.
3 minutes and 12 seconds, brother Dan.
Oh wow! I'm
All right,
picturing
that's-
like 20 seconds.
That's kind of gross.
Yeah,
That
I'm kidding.
Brent
It's
Weber, who
only
just
12
originally said that Matt is always at quarterstaff, now is saying that his dad beat him with his quarterstaff, which means he grabbed his own dick and beat him with his own dick.
Oh no!
Fucking Brent's a weird guy.
Go, Brett.
Hey, welcome, Brett.
Yeah.
Go,
We
Brett.
love you.
Welcome.
You
we
have
love you.
no idea.
Hey, no.
All right, Hedski says it lasted 17 seconds, but I think he's talking about maybe something. Never mind. Gone in 17 seconds.
He asks, "Hey, bro, you're pretty good. Where you from?" He's like, "Manatharan." Oh God, I mean,
Yeah.
the Two Rivers. Oops. And then he leaves. It says, "Quote: He kept the quarterstaff. No one had told him to put it back, and walked slowly to the trees hit him from the practice yard."
And then starts like leaning on it once no one's looking. He's like, oh shit, he can barely walk.
Mhm.
Right.
All right, so
he takes their weapon. He's like, "Go ahead and take it from me. I just beat your two best dudes, your best hot boys. You want to take my big stick? Go ahead. No one said I had to put it back. I'm just gonna take it."
Walking away with it.
Well, that's just like the
Whatever I
dagger, huh?
suppose.
Is this the new dagger?
Mm-hmm.
Is it now cursed like Aes Sedai cursed?
is it like taking the mic from Milli Vanilli?
It's like yes, and
Thank you. And
I'm a background dancer when it happened.
you just outdance him, and you
I
take the
chunk
mic
him.
and you walk away. You're like, thanks for the mic.
But no,
Try-
but then he kind of whips me with those dreads. It gets caught in my tooth.
your grill,
in my grill. Yeah.
So,
And I
was it Millie?
Oh
Was
my
it
goodness.
Millie's hair or Vanilli's hair? cut
Whoa!
in your
What
grill?
year was this done?
It was both. It was both.
Both of them. All right. So then you somehow then you famously took them both down with your mouth, right?
Yep.
You start swinging them around with your mouth. They're caught you're caught in your grill. You start like.
Well, when Ryan, you were there. I did a backspin, like a breakdance backspin. Both Millie and Vanilli, like their head like went and they started and so it was like a washer style thing.
Go on.
And then kept spinning faster and faster, which defies logic, I know, but trust me on this.
Centrifugal force.
Yeah, they whipped out of my grill, came out of my face. That's why I don't have it anymore.
That's why you lost all your teeth.
Yeah, and both Millie and Vanilli ended up like up in the balcony of a fairly large theater.
All right, case ABJ Abj says, "Kay, be very careful drinking when these guys are riffing."
ABJ, hey, is it a beat? Wait.
Yes.
Ryan,
like it's abj, like abject.
Seriously.
I thought it was a BJ, and I'm like, I'll take one.
Yeah, no.
Seriously, yeah. ABJ.
Right. I'm crossing the line.
An adjective describes an action.
Go on, Ryan.
I
What
had
is
a laugh
an
moment, and it was they're just fucking
describes a noun? Yes.
Case in point, ABJ. Fuck.
I know, Abj. Thank you. Seriously.
ABJ.
Abja, like abject.
Actually, can you tell us how to say your name? I'm feeling so rude right now.
Yeah. I felt like
really
I
rude
too.
too.
Yeah.
We're feeling kind of ridiculous up here.
Any other thoughts about Matt?
Ever!
This is the best show ever, Ryan.
For
The best.
reals, man. I'm feeling it. I have like a performance.
We're just gonna wait for you, ABJ.
Yeah. I'm hoping for an after show, ABJ.
That's just the last letter that you're looking for, Ryan.
He says it's
pronounced ABJ.
ABJ.
Oh, thanks, mate.
ABJ.
No, this is official. ABJ is fine. All right.
Oh, okay, yeah, beautiful.
Thank you.
I like how far Vader says it's ABJ.
ABJ.
Hey,
I think that's show canon right there.
So Matt hobbles back to the tower proper like an old man.
Rock on, bitches.
With a hole.
What?
With a hole in the stomach. Rock on, bitches.
Now, that's a really cool line, Dan, and I'm glad you're bringing that up. Let's just sit with that line. So cool. Like an old man. Walking away like an old man.
Yeah, was there what were your thoughts about the fight? Was this just something that any guy in the Two Rivers can beat some ass? Was this showing that there's a whole lot of Goliaths out there, but there's just as many Davids? Or is it something about Matt in particular?
Well, I already told you my take.
The farmer does beat the greatest swordsman ever. Yeah.
All right, so you think it's just
yeah, you could just.
I also before he like, so did he ever get his bet, Dan? Who paid him up? Who paid up?
Yeah, Godwin came and gave him two. Galad was still laid out, surrounded by Aes Sedai. So Hamar said, "I'll collect from him here. You're good. Where you from?"
All right. Yeah. Now, we're talking about a man who just been healed. It's day 2. He's famished. He's just starting to get color in his eyes. He can barely stand up, and he beat 2 of the most like incredible swordsmen. Who, to their credit, they have been working out. They're glistening. They're so glistening that all the Aes Sedai are like just so they're sopping wet. And so, but here we have Matt coming in and beating him. Is there what? How do you even explain this? He's never shown this ability? How do you explain this? Is there something in the text that helps you explain this?
Yeah, I mean,
what do you think it is?
I think it all relates back to the story of Jerome.
Okay. So it's the rebirth kind of Jungian archetypal narrative that he's fulfilling.
Yeah, fulfilling of the archetypal moment. Now, does that mean that these boys are Jerome, or like I don't have to? I'm not personally interpreting it that way, but more just like this is something Matt had to do, had to like set this standard, set this moment. Okay.
Huh, wow. What?
I think
let's talk about Hagalad.
Not realizing that was a question towards me. Sorry.
What were you thinking about though?
I was looking at the part I highlighted in my smaller version of the book. Yep, I've got 2.
What'd you highlight?
I highlighted, you did not kill him. I heard him groaning. So he should be on his feet by now, but they are not going to let this chance pass. Now they have their hands on him. A light, 4 of them are green Aja. You know, the whole last page and a half.
I like that passage too.
Well, these women.
Yeah, that's the paragraph.
They also said, "Oh, he may just come out of there being someone's warder." There's a scrum.
That's funny, dude.
These women were all just ogling
scrum
like someone who they could like bond for life potentially.
like the throwing of the garter belt at a really crowded wedding.
They're like, "Oh, you caught it. You're mine." So, what do you think? What do you think that it is an entirely consensual thing? They threatened that he's. I mean, they kind of joke about it, but Moiraine did pass her bond with Lan. And he's like, "What?" He's like, "What the fuck?"
Mm-hmm. Well, he even says in the text, like, all he's ever known is Lan and Moiraine. So, there's no like passion, sexual or otherwise, between those two.
Yeah. Well, but this is
the green might be different. Right?
There's more than just smut in the pages.
I mean, well, yeah. If you bond Galad,
Mr. Butler,
you know you're boning that. You're boning that dude.
Exactly, Brent.
You're boning that groan.
You're boning the groan.
Green.
I really like scrubs tonight, Dan.
Thank you, Ryan.
Very nice. Very nice scrubs.
Yes, Abja in ABJ. Yeah, we are only talking about chapter 24 of book.
Yeah, thank you for asking. Yep. This is first time readers.
Get in our
ABJ,
Discord.
I worry
Feel
about
free to
you.
chat it up. Yeah, you worry about him?
Just a little bit.
I know. You want him to be like many BJs,
I'm
right?
a little bit worried about ABJ if he's just now realizing that we're on only certain chapters of this book.
I know. He's like, what?
Just gonna say it. ABJ, we're proud of you, though.
We love you, ABJ.
Eventually realizing that, and we do appreciate you being here. You're fucking amazing. Actually, I'm really enjoying this.
So the way he took out Galad was the quarterstaff flickered past Galad's sword and in quick succession struck knee, wrist, and ribs, and finally thrust into Galad's stomach like a spear.
Knee, wrist, and ribs. Knees and wrists. Knees, wrist, and ribs. Knees and wrist. Knees, wrist, and... There we go. You go. I'm really into that.
Knees, wrist, and ribs, and stomach. Knees, wrist, and ribs, and stomach. Ribs and stomach.
Yes,
knees, wrist, and ribs, and stomach. Ribs and stomach.
There we go.
Knees and
Eyes
ribs and wrists and stomach.
Knees, wrists, and heads and stomach. Heads and stomach.
I'm gonna give you a crushing blow to your throat.
Death blow. Death blow.
And her
My
fist.
dad
And she
taught
went,
me.
oh my god, that hurt.
My dad taught me to when the plumbing is broken, call someone. That's
My
what-
dad taught me 12 different ways to kill a man, especially with the quarterstaff to the throat.
Yeah.
But he said, if you're gonna do it, mean it. My dad was cool. He sold horses. I mean, he traded horses. He didn't even sell them. He just traded them. Made money. I don't know how.
Let's go.
Any other thoughts, guys, about Matt? Matt hobbles away. He now has, if my math is correct, he has 42 silver coins.
Quarter of his staff.
He has a quarter of a staff. I think a full staff is about
He has
12
a full
people.
staff. He has a full staff holding him erect.
No. From now on, it's quarter of his staff. Thank you.
Whoa.
So I think that's like 2 or 3, like a secretary and like who else? An economist. What?
The 1%. Yeah.
All right. So all right. Anything else, guys? I got to golf in the morning.
Yeah. Dave
Freaking
Cook's like, what's
amazing.
going?
Yeah, 6.5 hours, I think.
We love you, Dan.
6.5 hours. How many holes?
Dan, you should stop agreeing to golf.
How many
early.
holes, Dan?
Ocho ideas.
All right, no. When Dan golfs, he's like the president of North Korea. All holes in ones. He does 18 holes.
I get a 17 every time.
17, nice. All right, everybody. Thank you, Josh. Scrotum
Jeff.
Scrotum Sadai. Thank you so much, Kay Sadai. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Choose Raja.
Pick a side, guys. Pick
in
a
the most
side.
sexual way possible.
Come on, everybody.
Don't forget, I think 3 shows in a row we've been asked to do Bella. I've been such a dick. I'm going to leave off with a strong Bella!